Hello, N4H&H here. I want to take advantage of this opportunity to let you hear some good transmit audio, but also see it on the audio frequency FFT down here at the lower right of the FTdx10 display, the Yaesu FTdx10. Notice right now the guy that's speaking, you'll see the low frequencies, some mids and some highs. Now he's stopped. Here's the other guy. You see the humps in there, and then here are the frequencies across the bottom. So we've got some strength right there around 300 and 400 hertz, and 300 to 400, and then somewhere in the 1500 hertz, and then where your clarity comes from, which is up around 24 to 2500 hertz. Looks like he's at right around 2400, which is excellent. For me, with a Yaesu desk mic or hand mic, I boost 1300 hertz and 2400 hertz. And depending on the voice, I will either boost 200 hertz or 300 hertz. Now, I'll tell you what changes that is transmit BPF. If I'm running a transmit bandpass filter of 300 to 2700, which is what I typically run with the FTdx10 using its stock mic, then I will be boosting 300 hertz. If I'm running a high-O microphone, such as the PR781, a great matchup for this radio as well as my FTdx5000 MP. In fact, it also matches up perfectly well to my FT920. With the high-O mic, I boost 900 hertz instead of 1300 hertz, but I still work that 200 to 300 hertz range. Now, of course, with the high-O mic, I'm going to be cutting the 200 to 300 hertz range by anywhere from 4 to 6 dB, but boosting a little bit at 900 hertz, generally somewhere around 2 or 3 dB a boost. And then 2400 hertz, I'm boosting 8 to even 10. So now I'm going to turn this up and let you hear these guys. But pay attention to the AF-FFT, the audio frequency scope in the bottom right. And as they talk, look where you're seeing those humps, and that's pretty well where you want to be when you adjust your transmit audio. Okay, here we go.
How you doing, my friend? Ron, have you logged in and checked in with the Salvation Army in Spartanburg yet? Well, I sent him a QSL card. Oh, you sent him a card. Did you get one from him? No, I didn't call him. I just sent him a card. Was I supposed to call him too? I didn't say nothing about calling. I said, did you send him a card? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So you can see, even with the weaker station,
you got one just like it.
That boost at around
he's telling you thank you.
1400 hertz, I think, is where he's boosting.
He get it when he got it. Yeah, and he's telling you thank you.
Is helping him be more intelligible.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to. I wonder, did they all find out about the American Legion Post or what?
I've got the RF gain rolled back to S4.
Legion Post. They're trying to do that all across the country. At the American Legion set up ham radios. My friend Gene Creasy is in the process of putting up a station over there at the American Legion.
Look at Jack's video. Look at Jack's audio when he talks. Boosting right in the correct spots.
He called you.
Now, if he's on the typical radio he uses, it's a Yaesu FT990.
Yeah, he's all excited about getting a ham radio set up. I don't know if it's at Greer or where it was at, but he's all excited about getting a ham radio set up there. And I gave him your number and told him to call you.
You can definitely see where he's boosted up around 2400 hertz.
Well, you tell him that, and come down and you'll have to mount.
Right about 1500 hertz.
What he needs to do. But yeah, they done approved it. And and I think he's
with
getting
peaks
stuff
down
together to
around
set the station up.
300 and 400 hertz.
W4, what ED?
Hey, Danny, I know what you're doing.
How you been, Jack?
I'm doing fine. I'm fit as a fiddle, and ain't nobody played me yet.
Roger there. I just, I turned on the 80-meter band. Hadn't been up here a while, and heard it's been the band's been
Now you can
bad,
look at
but
the
it's
scope
pretty
and
good
tell
right
that
now
that
on my end.
station has
Yeah,
less
you're 20
emphasis
over
on the
S9.
low frequencies,
Yeah, you're 25 on me, Jack.
much more emphasis up around 17,
Yeah,
1800
sounds
hertz.
good. I like to hear good signals like that. And Ron, he's down there on Lake Hartwell. He's got a good signal down there too. He's 20 over 9 too. Ron, you copy Danny?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I was going to tell you, it's S9 plus over here. Nice signal.
Oh, you're 10 over 9 on me, my friend.
Oh, thank you. It's good to hear. We were having a little trouble earlier, and I can't tell with my rig or my antenna or Jack's ears. Maybe, no, we don't know what was going on. It was acting funny, but it's acting all right now, so thanks.
Well, I won't break up y'all's QSO there, Jack. I was just going to say,
Now you see his
good morning
mids,
to you, and hope
he's
you-
using
hope you're
a
doing
wide
well.
bandwidth
We're
setting
not
there.
exactly having a QSO. We just
Which-
talking, you know, ain't got no
Let me
agenda.
explain,
They
with
try to
Yaesu
keep-
radios using their parametric equalizer, the lower the number that you set for bandwidth, that is the wider bandwidth. The higher the number is a narrow bandwidth. We call that narrow Q or high Q. And judging by how wide the middle hump was with that one station I mentioned, that tells me that his bandwidth for the mids is set to a lower Q, meaning a wider bandwidth.
Twisted up in the schedule for dialysis, and plus his wife being sick and taking her to surgery.
See, Jack's a little bit more focused around 1500, well, they're 13, 14, 1500-ish, and then 2400. I mean, that's just right where you need to be. And look at the low peaks. That's what's giving his voice that body, that
Well, I
depth.
hope Betty's okay
But notice it's
there.
not muddy.
Yeah, and Felix both are. They're good people.
Yeah, I hadn't heard a thing his phone in at all.
And when that other gentleman talks again, look at how big of a hump it is in the mids.
Well, how about Boyd? Boyd been in?
Oh yeah, you know, boy, he's been in and he's been trading radios and buying radios. You know, that's boy. He loves to do that. So he sold his 990, and he's got another radio. I don't know what it is, but he sold his 990.
Now when this,
Roger.
yeah, look,
It'd be untelling.
look at the
We'd take a
mids and
good
how wide they
radio to
are.
Replace that one.
Yeah, he sold it to.
Now if he was working DX, that's a pretty good audio
And he delivered it. He sold
taper
it to
there.
somebody and delivered it. I think somewhere up there around you.
Roger, well, that's a great radio.
See, he's got a lot of highs, high mids, and highs. A lot of high mids and high content there,
Yeah, go
which would
ahead.
help him punch through in a pileup.
Everybody want to say hey to Calvin.
I want to also insert this just so you know. You can watch that audio frequency FFT scope while you're transmitting in case you're making some adjustments to your own audio. So here's what mine looks like on transmit. November 4, hotel, November, hotel, November 4, hotel, November, hotel, testing the mic EQ, hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, November 4, hotel, November, hotel. So you can see there again the lower frequency hump, the mid frequency hump, and the higher frequency hump up there around the 2500 hertz range. Okay, just wanted to insert that so you could see that scope can help you when you're adjusting your transmit audio, although I always recommend that you have a friend listen to you on the air because for example, listening through the headphones, it will help you get close if you use the monitor function, but you're hearing it before it is transmitted and becomes a sideband audio. And then, of course, you know, you're not hearing what the stations on the other end will hear when they receive that. In other words, you know, you're modulating a sideband signal, they're demodulating the sideband signal, and listening through the headphones doesn't give you the full picture, if you will, of what you sound like. Always have a friend check it out, especially if you have a friend on the air who knows what your voice sounds like in person. Okay, just thought I would throw that in there. Okay, well, I just wanted you guys to see that. If you happen to own a transceiver that has the audio frequency scope there, like the FTdx10, the FTdx10, others from other suppliers. Yeah, of course, 7300 has it, 7610. You know, you have the ability, and Kenwood as well, 990S, for example, 890. You have the ability to look at that scope, and you know, when you hear somebody that sounds especially good, take a look at how their audio shows up on the scope there, and you're going to probably find that they're going to be in those sweet spots of around, you know, a hump of around 300 hertz, and somewhere in that. Again, with Heil, I find 900 hertz works better. With Yaesu mics, boosting the 1300 hertz range works better. But then also that sweet spot of 2400, sometimes 2500 hertz, you can play with that a little bit according to the voice. And then you'll see the valleys in between those, because those are areas that you don't need that emphasis. And so, you know, with the Yaesu radios, you've got a 3-band parametric EQ, so you absolutely have the ability to tailor that audio. And remember, too, you have 2 separate parametric EQs, one for when you are not using the speech processor and one for when you are using the speech processor. You know, if you've been around me very long, watch my channel much, you know, I've mentioned this before, I pretty much run the speech processor all the time. I just don't run it high. Usually nobody knows that it's on unless I tell them. So I've got another guy that I talk to on the air, Billy AD4PF. Billy runs his speech processor all the time. But again, Billy does it very carefully so that it adds punch, but you don't get that overly processed sound. I mean, you know, you can tell when somebody's running the speech processor too high. And one other comment about that while we're on this subject of speech processors. I've mentioned this here and there, and I think I mostly maybe have commented, written about it in comments, but if you run your speech processor at a lower level, then you can run your mic gain a little higher. If you turn your mic gain down, you can get away with a little bit higher speech processor setting. But I actually don't recommend more than a 20 for example, on the FTdx10. I don't recommend running the speech processor setting higher than 20. And then adjust the mic gain according to how loud you speak into the mic, how close you speak into the mic. For me, it's 30. For most people, I find that 35 to 45 is an average range. And if you speak really, really softly, maybe consider somewhere around 50. And in case you're wondering, the automatic mic control, the automatic mic gain control, let me go into the menu and let you see. I leave it at the default of 50. And it works out great. I'm getting nothing but unsolicited compliments on the transmit audio of this FTdx10 when I'm running the PR781. Of course, it sounds best with the PR781, but it does a pretty good job with the Yaesu hand mic. Again, difference being that I'm boosting 1300 hertz with the Yaesu mic and 900 hertz with the Heil mic. And with the Heil mic, I'm cutting 200 to 300 hertz, depending on which bandwidth I'm using. With the Heil mic, I'm using the 2 to 2800 bandpass filter, so I'm cutting 200 hertz. With the Yaesu mic, I'm using a 300 to 2700 bandpass, transmit bandpass filter, and so I'm boosting 300 hertz. You deal with Heil microphones in a different fashion than you would deal with the stock mic from the manufacturer, because that stock mic is optimized for two-way radio communications in that 3 kilohertz bandwidth range. Okay, so I hope someone finds this video helpful and informative. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Patreon supporters. Do appreciate you very much. If anyone else would like to help defray the cost of this channel, and well, and also too, that's a vote for me to continue putting out videos like this. Well, please go to www.patreon.com/N4HNH. That's Patreon, patreon.com/N4HNH, and join at any level. The executive level and the VIP level, you have access to some additional exclusive content, some of which are PDFs that go through my optimization settings, my menu optimizations for the FT891, 991A, FTdx1000, as well as the FTdx10. Okay, hey, thanks for watching, and if you would, please press that like button. That helps us out with YouTube, and also, if you would, subscribe to the channel, and if you would click the bell, you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. Thanks again for watching, and 73 from N4H&H.